For centuries, the farmers of Normandy have enclosed their pastures, fields, and orchards into small plots of land called bocage. Now, each of these small pastures is surrounded by earthen embankments, which are 1 to 4 feet wide and 3 to 15 feet high, and these in turn are topped with hedges of small trees, brush, and tough vines. Now, these impenetrable hedgerows serve to mark land boundaries, contain livestock, and reduce the erosion from the sea winds that blow across the Cotentin Peninsula. The fields of the bocage are generally small, usually only 200 to 400 yards on a side, and also irregularly shaped. And there's no logical pattern for their placement. The paths and the wagon trails that run between them form a sort of maze that makes navigation difficult for outsiders who wish to traverse the region. On June 6th of 1944, the Allied forces launched history's greatest amphibious assault in Normandy. Now, gaining a foothold against the defending German troops was a formidable challenge. However, once the Allies had established a beachhead and begun to push into the French interior, a more punishing obstacle faced them. Ahead of them were miles and miles of bocage, each of which had to be taken one at a time. The Allies had poured most of their planning into the actual landing in D-Day, and they weren't well prepared for the challenge that was before them. Omar Bradley called it the damnedest country he'd ever seen, and General James Gavin stated, "Although there had been some talk in the UK before D-Day about the hedgerows, none of us really appreciated how difficult they would turn out to be." To the slowly retreating Germans, the hedgerows of each field provided excellent cover and concealment. The thick summer vegetation restricted observation and provided superior camouflage. The relatively flat terrain of the area gave few places where good observation and fire direction could be employed. Thus, bringing any sort of high-caliber fire to bear on the enemy positions proved a challenge. Now, these numerous adjoining and irregular fields could be organized into a natural defensive position that allowed the Germans to utilize deadly flanking maneuvers to the Allied attackers. And finally, the haphazard network of paths between the bocage hampered Allied mobility and added to unit disorganization and logistical problems. Now, initially, the forward German defensive lines were interconnected, compartmentalized fields that were defended by small detachments. And behind these forward positions were infantry and tank reserves that shored up positions and supported counterattacks. In preparing for this defensive, the German army ran communication wires between the units, which facilitated contact between them. Within the individual fields, the Germans confronted the Allies with both direct and indirect fire. At opposite corners of the field, the Germans dug pits and placed heavy machine guns that would provide fire that pinned down attacking infantry. Meanwhile, German soldiers bearing small arms could move forward on either side of the field and pick off the Allied forces in the crossfire. Now, retreating out of such a position was further hampered by the wall of vegetation at their back. And once an Allied unit was pinned down, artillery and mortar barrages simply finished them off. Now, during this barrage, the German infantry would turn their attention to the attacker's hedgerow and use light machine guns to graze along the base, which could catch any soldiers that were using it for cover or concealment. Now, adding to the horror of the advancing Allied units, the Germans also concealed snipers, mines, and booby traps in the thick undergrowth. And to combat advancing armor, Panzerfaust rocket launchers were employed. Another challenge of the bocage that affected the Americans was simply the frontage. American companies and battalions were used to fighting along at around a 500-yard frontage. They were now channeled down into small fields, which were usually half that length. So these units were hemmed in by hedgerows on all directions, and they had a difficult time ascertaining landmarks and often became disoriented. And this made it easy for them to become lost, or even worse, flanked by the Germans. Now, it was not only infantry that found this difficult, but American armored units found the terrain pretty arduous. In addition to the vegetation blocking line of sight, the steep earthen embankments of the bocage were difficult to traverse. Topping the larger ones exposed the underbellies of the armored vehicles to anti-tank fire. So tanks were forced to stay on the major roadways, but unless they were accompanied by infantry, they often found themselves under fire by German Panzers, 88mm anti-tank guns, and Panzerfausts. So ultimately, the American tank crews quickly learned to travel through the bocage at a snail's pace, which was preferable to becoming obliterated on the roadways. By the end of June, American commanders had been taught a painful lesson that a handful of well-placed German defensive positions could hold entire battalions at bay and essentially grind the offensive to a halt. Now, in addition to the physical challenges of the Bocage, the U.S. Army was facing another crucial matter. Up until this time, infantry, armor, and artillery had never had to integrate their tactics as a single fighting team, and the Allies had paid little attention to the combined arms tactics that the Germans had developed over the past half of a decade fighting in Europe. So infantry and tanks now had to figure out how to move together so that the Shermans could lay down suppressive fire while the ground pounders advanced. And infantry and armored units were forced to move at the same speed, which was difficult in clear terrain where vehicles could move faster than infantry, as well as rough terrain where the opposite was true. And equally challenging was developing ways for infantry and tank crews to communicate with each other, something that was extremely hard on a deafeningly noisy battlefield. Initially, to surmount the hedgerows, bulldozer tanks, which were simply M4s outfitted with bulldozer blades, were tested. And these proved adequate to widen natural gaps and even plow through some of the thick earthworks. However, the major problem with the solution was that there was initially only 4 of these dozer tanks available to cover the entire offensive. So while more dozer blades were requisitioned and slowly making their way to the front line, field-expedient solutions were developed. Now, some tanks were equipped with a 6.5-inch diameter steel pipe that could be rammed into the dirt of the embankments, and then the tank would back away and a combat engineer would plant an explosive charge packed in an expended 105mm artillery shell casing and then blow the embankment up. The problem with this was that the explosion simply alerted the Germans, who would then fire anti-tank weapons at the breach and destroy the Sherman. Now, in the 747th, First Lieutenant Charles B. Greene designed a strong bumper device which was welded from salvaged railroad tracks, and this was used to plow through the hedgerows. Also, Sergeant Curtis G. Cullen of the 2nd Armored Division's 102nd Cavalry Reconnaissance Squadron invented a hedgerow cutting device made from scrap iron that could cut its way through the hedgerow. And Shermans equipped with this hedgerow device became known as rhino tanks. By the middle of July, over 500 of Cullen's rhinos were chewing their way eastward. Now, the final Allied tactic for clearing a Bocage involved a carefully coordinated combat team that consisted of a single tank, an engineering team, and a squad of infantry reinforced with a Browning automatic rifle and a 60mm mortar. The infantry and engineers would wait in the hedgerow while a Sherman with a pipe device mounted on the front moved forward to near the top of the embankment and would then shoot white phosphorus into the German machine gun positions. The tank would also spray machine gun fire into the base of the enemy hedgerow to eliminate any concealed infantry. At the same time, the mortar team would lob shells either at the position directly behind the German position, which would kill retreating infantry, or fire smoke shells to obscure the vision of the German observers. The American infantry squad would then move out of the hedgerow and advance across the field, staying clear of the vegetation on their flanks. Now, once the infantry was masking the Sherman's machine gun fire, the tank would poke a hole in the embankment and back away. The engineers would then plant the demolitions in the hole, and after the explosives were detonated, the hedgerow was breached, and the Shermans could move across the field, providing close support, while the infantry flushed all of the adjacent hedgerows for any remaining defenders. The engineer and mortar team would then join the tank, and the infantry squad would move on to clear the next Bocage. This week's game is Onslaught. It came out in 1987, and despite what the box says, it was published by TSR, not SPI. This must have been one of the kind of holdovers from SPI when TSR acquired them. Now, the designer was Douglas Niles, who many of you are probably familiar with for his work on a lot of the Dragonlance stuff for Dungeons & Dragons. The game basically covers the Western Front from just after D-Day up until the crossing of the Rhine, and despite the kind of garish and cartoonish box, it's actually a pretty decent game. So let's dive into the rules. Now, the game board is a map of northern France, the southern Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, and western Germany, and each hex represents 11 miles. The terrain includes forests, rough areas, bocage, rivers, cities, and fortifications. And also printed on the game board is a combat results table, which is used to determine the result of battles, a reinforcement schedule, which is a schedule of when reinforcements appear, a supply track that keeps track of each player's supply points, which are very important in this game, and a turn track. Now, each counter in the game represents a division with infantry consisting of about 10,000 soldiers and armored units consisting of about 300 to 400 tanks. The front of the counter is the division at full strength, and the back is the division at reduced strength. And the numbers are the division's combat strength and movement point allowance. The game consists of 20 turns, with each turn consisting of about 2 weeks. You can see the various colors of the division. British are red on khaki, Canadians are white on khaki, the US is green on olive, and so on. Now, each type of unit is also represented by a NATO symbol that includes infantry, paratroops, and armor. To set the game up, you place the German and Allied divisions on the map in the hexes where they're pictured, and you place 2 Allied infantry divisions in each of the 3 landing hexes, and do this by nationality. Use 1 Canadian, 2 Americans, and 3 British divisions, and they can be grouped however the Allied player wishes. And you'll also place these 3 paratroop units in the specific hexes indicated. Then put the Allied supply marker and the Allied supply income marker on the 12th space of the Allied supply track, and you place the German supply marker on the 8th space of the German supply track. Finally, place the turn marker on turn 1 of the turn track, and the game's now ready to play. Now, each of the turns in the game follows the following sequence of operations, which I'll briefly describe and go into a little bit more detail later. The majority of the turn sequence is spent on an action step, and that's where players move their divisions and attack enemies. The player with the highest die roll always performs the next action. Players continue performing actions until a die roll is tied or both players pass, and at that point the action step ends. This is followed by a German reserve step, where German divisions can be moved forward to plug gaps in the line or pulled back to more protected positions. Next is a reinforcement step, where the German player places their reinforcement divisions. Then the Allied player places their reinforcement divisions, and then both players rebuild the destroyed divisions. This is followed by adding new supply points to the supply tracks, and finally you advance the turn marker to the next space on the turn track. Now, I can't emphasize enough, the action steps are the main part of the game, and during an action step, an activated unit can move, combat, or attempt a breakthrough. Now, players can always stack up to 3 divisions in a hex together, and activate these stacks as a single unit. Now, to activate anywhere from the 1 to 3 units in a hex, 1 supply point is subtracted from the supply track, and all of the units of the stack can then perform an action. Now, certain units can attempt breakthroughs, and those cost 2 supply points, and we'll talk about breakthroughs in a little bit. Now remember, all of the units in the stack have to perform the same action, and they remain activated until they're done either moving or attacking. While units can't be activated more than once each action, they can be activated more than 1 time in a turn. Thus, a stack of units could move and attack a number of times during a turn. Now, the Allied player automatically gets the first action of each action step, and when the Allied player is finished, both players roll a die, and the player with the higher die roll gets the next action. Now, the players roll this die after each action to determine who gets the next action. Now, the action step continues until one of 3 things happen. The die rolls are tied, both players choose to pass, or until both players are out of supply points. Now, if one player is unable to continue to take action steps, either because of passing or being out of supply points, both players still continue to roll die until neither side can perform an action, and the other player can continue to take actions. So let's look at the 3 actions in a little more detail. The first action is movement. Now, all types of units, infantry, armor, and paratroops, can move together in a stack, though only 1 stack can be activated at a time. Now, there's 2 different kinds of movement that can be performed during the movement phase. There's regular and strategic, which is used to quickly move long distances. Now, during normal movement, a stack of units activated, and it can move up to the number of hexes indicated by the movement allowance. Now, unlike most games, terrain generally affects combat and not movement, and almost all of the hexes in this game cost 1 movement point to cross. The exception to this is crossing either the Rhine River or the Scheldt estuary, and in order to cross these, a unit has to start their move next to the waterway. They then expend all of their movement points to cross, and they're considered crossed at the end of the movement. However, all German divisions can cross the Rhine, but not the Scheldt, without any sort of movement penalty. Now, Allied divisions can also cross the Rhine without penalty if they pass through a friendly unit on the other side of the river. Note that if a stack of Allied divisions is activated adjacent to the Rhine, every division in the stack has to pay the same penalty. And when crossing the Rhine, the first division can't cross separately and create a bridge for other divisions from that stack in that activation. Now, if 2 or 3 divisions are in an activated stack, they can split up and move independently in different directions. And stacks of units can move through the hexes of other friendly units, but they can never exceed the 3-division limit at the end of their movement. And also importantly, enemy divisions can't be attacked during a movement action. Now, like most games, enemy units have zones of control, and those are the 6 hexes surrounding a unit. If one of your units moves into an enemy zone of control, they have to stop. and the only terrain that blocks a zone of control is open water. Rivers, cities, etc. don't. And if a division starts its movement in the zone of control of an enemy, it can immediately move into another hex as long as it's not into another enemy zone of control. Now, during strategic movement, units can triple their movement allowance. However, the unit can never move into a hex that is 3 movement points from an enemy unit, and if it does so, it has to stop. Now, units activated as a stack are free to use different types of movement, so one division in a stack could use normal movement, while another used the strategic movement. Now, combat's pretty straightforward in this game. If a unit or stack of units is adjacent to an enemy unit, it can be activated for an attack. And it costs 1 supply point to activate any or all of the units in a stack. Now, divisions activated as a stack can freely attack different hexes. They don't have to attack the same enemy stack. However, units in a stack cannot be individually attacked. In other words, all of the units in the stack have to be attacked as one single stack. Now, the only 2 types of movement that can occur during regular combat are retreats and advances as a result of combat. And to determine the outcomes of battles, you compare the ratio of all attacking units to all defending units, and you round down in favor of the defender. You then find the column on the CRT that represents this ratio, and then you roll a d6 and add or subtract any modifiers, and then cross-index the final result to determine the outcome of combat. Now, there are a number of factors that can stack on each other that modify the roll of a CRT. There's defensive terrain, so if the defending stack is in a forested, rough, or bocage hex, you subtract 1 from the die roll. There's also supply. If an attacking division cannot trace a supply line, you subtract 1 from the die roll, and if the defending stack can't trace a supply line, you add 1 to the die roll. There's also rivers, and if all attacking divisions are separated from the defending stack by rivers, you subtract 1 from the die roll. And finally, there's major waterways, and if all attacking divisions are separated from the defending stack by a major waterway, you subtract 2 from the combat die roll. However, if some divisions must attack across a major waterway and the rest must attack across a river, for instance, or only the river modifier of -1 is applied. Now, there's 7 types of combat results that can occur in this game. There's an AE, which means that the attacker's eliminated. In other words, all the divisions that are attacked are removed and placed in the unit's eliminated box. There's an AH, which means the attacker is halved, and every division in an attacking stack is flipped over to the reduced side. Now, if they've been reduced due to a previous attack, then they're eliminated. There's no effect. There's DR, which is a defender retreat, and in this case, every division in the defending stack has to retreat 2 hexes. There's a defender halved, and every division in the defending stack becomes depleted, and surviving divisions retreat 2 hexes. There's also an HH, and that means both the attacker and the defender are halved. The attacker would then suffer an AH result, and the defender would suffer a DH result, and that does include a retreat for the defender. There's a DE, which is a defender eliminated, where every division in the defending stack is eliminated. Now, when the defender is forced to retreat from battle, they move that entire stack back 2 hexes. However, retreating division can't travel through or end its movement in the zone of control of enemy units, unless a friendly division already occupies the hex in the zone of control. If they are forced to retreat through these hexes, the retreating units flipped over, and half-strength units are eliminated. Now, if a full-strength unit can't retreat 2 hexes for some reason, say due to enemy zones of control or terrain, they retreat 1 hex and are flipped over. If a defender's hex is left empty after a battle, the attacking divisions can advance, and advancing infantry divisions can move into the first vacated hex, but no further, and advancing armor divisions can move into the vacated hex and then move 1 additional hex in any direction. They don't necessarily have to follow the retreating unit. Now, neither enemy zone of control nor major waterways have any effect on advance after combat, and advancing units basically ignore these. Now, breakthrough actions are fairly powerful, and only armor divisions can perform them. Breakthrough actions allow the armor unit or stack to move and attack in a single action at the cost of 2 supply points. And once activated, that stack can perform a normal movement action followed by a combat action, or it can perform a combat action followed by a movement action. There's also fortifications in the game, and these double the combat strength of divisions that are attacked across the fortified hex side. And the German defenders lose this benefit if any allied unit attacks across a non-fortified side of the defender's hex. Now, if German divisions defending a fortification suffer a retreat combat result, they stand their ground, and they're depleted instead of retreated. And this is an option for the German player. The units are free to retreat instead if they prefer. Now, fortifications only infer their benefits to units that are defending, and they don't change any offensive capabilities. Also, German divisions and fortifications are always in supply, regardless of the situation outside the fortification and regardless of whether they're attacking or defending. Finally, German divisions can stop retreating as soon as they enter a fortification hex, and this often allows them to legally retreat only one hex instead of two. Now, as I said before, the activation step ends when a tie is rolled, both players are out of supply points, or both players decide to pass, and you then move on to the German reserve step. Now, once the action phase is over, if the German player has any supply points left, they can use these to make strategic moves to fill gaps in their line or move units about. And again, it costs 1 supply point to move a stack of units, and units can't be moved into a hex that's 3 movement points away from an enemy unit. So basically, you can't move these units in a zone that's 3 hexes from the Allies. Now you should be able to see that supply plays a major factor in this game, and players start the game with supply points on the track and receive more during each turn's reinforcement phase. And as each side gains or loses supply points, you move the marker to the new level. Now if a player accumulates more supply points than their track displays, say 30 Allied or 20 German, the supply markers flipped over to its plus 20 or plus 30 side respectively, and the number on the marker is added to the number shown on the track. So basically, to show that the Allies have 32 supply points, you place the marker with the plus 20 on the 12th space of the track. Now the Allied player can never accumulate more than 60 supply points, and the German no more than 40. Unused supply points accumulate from turn to turn, and each side can continue to accumulate points up to the maximum allowance. Now the German player receives 8 supply points every reinforcement phase, and once between turns 12 and 17, the German player can seize the initiative and launch a counteroffensive, adding 2 points to their supply track. This is to simulate the bulge. In addition, the German player, instead of the Allied player, gets the first action of this bulge turn. Now following this, die rolls are made normally to determine initiative, and the first time that a tie occurs, the German player can elect to take an action instead of having the turn end. Now the second tie that's rolled ends the turn. Now the Allied player receives a varying number of supply points each reinforcement step, and the exact number depends on the number of supply sources that the Allies control. Now the Allies are said to control a supply source if an Allied division enters the hex and no German division has entered it since, and enemy zones of control have no effect on the control of supply sources. Allied supply sources include the 3 landing hexes in Normandy, which were occupied by the Allied infantry divisions at the start of the game, and each of those provides 4 supply points for a total of 12 supply points. There's also ports, and each port provides a number of supply points printed on the port symbol. Now if the port symbol doesn't contain a number, that port contributes no supply points to the Allied total. But the Allied divisions can use the port as a supply source for determining supply lines. Now 4 ports, Le Havre and Rouen in the west and Antwerp and Ghent in the east, are enclosed in port areas. And these ports become Allied supply sources only if the entire port area is cleared of German divisions, and an Allied division occupies or is moved through the ports. Now the Allies can draw supply through Le Havre without controlling Rouen, but they can't use Rouen without controlling Le Havre. Also starting on turn 8, southern France provides 4 supply points. Now the Allied player is not required to collect supply from every eligible supply source. If they expect the Germans to recapture a particular supply source during the turn, they can announce that they're not collecting points for it. Then if the Germans do capture that supply source that turn, they don't capture any supply points along with it. Now the Allied supply income marker can also be used to remind the Allied player how many supply points they receive each turn. It's important that units remain in supply, and to see if the unit is in supply, you trace a line from the unit to a supply source. For the Allies, this is a controlled port, the Normandy beachhead or southern France after turn 7, and for the Germans, it's the eastern edge of the map or any port that the Allies haven't captured. Now, captured ports never revert back to the Germans if they're recaptured. And German units in fortification hexes are always in supply. However, fortification hexes do count as supply sources. Supply lines can cross any type of terrain, including major waterways, but they can't traverse an enemy zone of control unless a friendly unit is in that hex. Now, a stack has to trace a supply line at the moment it's activated. If it can't, it's considered out of supply for that entire action. And a defending stack must trace a supply line the moment it's attacked, or it's also out of supply for that battle. Now, if a stack is out of supply when it's activated, it can only move 1 hex during the movement action, and it attacks with a -1 die modifier during a combat action. Also, if a stack is out of supply when it's attacked, the attacker gets a +1 die roll modifier. And I hinted that the German player can capture supply points, and they do this by capturing Allied ports or beaches. And the German division has to occupy the supply source during the reinforcement step to do this. Also, the Allied player must have collected at least one supply point from that supply source during the previous turn. And on turn 1, the Allied supply sources are assumed to have been used to collect supply on a hypothetical turn 0. Now, if these conditions are met, the German player captures 1/2 of the supply points as the Allied player collected from that supply source on the previous turn, and fractions are always rounded up. Now, you add the captured points to the German supply track immediately, and unless the Allied player announced that they were collecting a reduced number of supply points from that source, you assume that they collected as many points as possible. Now, paratroop units are a little bit different than other infantry units, and when they enter the game as reinforcements, they're placed in the paratroop box. And before the first action of the turn, the Allied player can move any paratroop unit from reinforcements or on the map to the paratroop box. Also, paratroop divisions that are on the map can be moved into the paratroop box if they're at full strength and not in an enemy zone of control. Now, to activate a paratroop unit, you spend 1 supply point and move that unit to the turn track 3 turns ahead. And on that turn, the paratroop unit can be dropped on any hex on the map, except for one occupied by a German unit. And each paratroop division making a drop costs 1 supply point each, even if several divisions land in the same hex. Now, half-strength paratroop units can be rebuilt to full strength for 2 supply points. However, eliminated paratroop units are permanently removed from the game. Next, you go into a series of reinforcement steps, and both players receive additional divisions as reinforcements throughout the game. Now, reinforcements are placed on the map during the reinforcement step, and German reinforcements are placed in Germany, and they must be in a hex that can trace a line of supply to the eastern edge of the map. And after they're placed, German reinforcements can immediately move as if they were activated for movement, and this doesn't cost any supply points, and it can either be normal or strategic movement. Now, Allied reinforcements are placed at Allied supply sources, ports, or the Normandy landing hex. Now, stacking restrictions will often prevent Allied reinforcements from entering these, and excess reinforcements have to be placed in the Allied delayed reinforcements box. Now, these units can be brought in as reinforcements during the reinforcement step of any subsequent turn, as long as the normal reinforcement restrictions on stacking and supply are met. Now, unlike German reinforcements, Allied reinforcements don't get a free move after placement. Finally, units can be brought in as replacements. During the replacement step, each player receives a number of replacement points that are used to repair or replace damaged or lost units. And these points don't carry over from turn to turn. If they're unused, they're simply wasted. The German player receives 2 replacement points per turn, and the Allied player 4 points. Now, both players get 1 additional point for every 3 units in their eliminated unit box, and you round down in this case. The number of points needed to rebuild various types of units is summarized on the replacement table, and also note that the cost to rebuild Volksgrenadier divisions are the same as the cost for other infantry divisions unless the Volksgrenadiers are placed in Germany. Then the cost is only 1 replacement point to bring back a full-strength division. Any division in a player's eliminated units box is eligible to be a replacement, and it can be rebuilt to its depleted or full strength. Now, depleted divisions on the map can also be rebuilt to full strength if they're in supply at the moment that they're rebuilt. Allied units are placed on the map exactly like reinforcements, and German units can be placed anywhere on the map with the following restrictions. They can't be placed within 3 movement points of an Allied division or Allied supply source, and they have to be in supply. And unlike regular supply lines, this supply line can't pass within 3 movement points of an Allied division. Now, the game goes on for 20 turns, unless one player wins an automatic victory, at which point the game immediately ends. Several times when I've played this, the Germans have had lucky die rolls, and so it's fairly easy for them to get their automatic victory. They win this if at any time the Allied player has no supply points and no sources of supply or no units on the map. The Allies can win an automatic victory if at the end of any turn before turn 20 there are no German divisions in supply west of the Rhine, and divisions in fortified ports can be ignored, and there are at least 15 Allied divisions in supply east of the Rhine. Now, if neither player wins an automatic victory, players can compare victory points at the end of turn 20. And the German player earns 1 victory point for each German division that's west of the Rhine, and also in supply. The Allied player earns 1 victory point for each Allied division that's east of the victory line and in supply. And both players can earn bonus victory points if their opponent has a gap in their line. So if a player can trace a continuous path of hexes from the east edge of the map of the coast of France without entering the zone of control of an enemy unit, they earn 5 victory points. And if they can draw a path without entering the 3-hex zone of influence of any enemy unit, they earn 15 victory points. And these can only be earned once. Now, if the victor wins with 1 to 12 points, it's a marginal victory. With 13 to 29 points, it's a decisive victory. And with 30 or more points, it's a strategic victory. Okay, let's take a look at the game. We're back with Onslaught. And I've got my allied units set up here at Normandy. And I've got my 2 paratroops here on the peninsula. I've got my supply marker set to 12 for the Allies and 8 for the Germans. So I think I'm ready to go. Now the Allies get the first move here, and so I am going to attack Cannes. And I've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 19, so easily going to be 5 to 1 odds. I will subtract 1 because this Volksgrenadier unit is in the Bocage. So let's pull our CRT up. Oh, I always remember I have a hard time remembering to use those supply points, so you'll probably see me miss that a couple times in the game. Okay, now let's roll. We get a 2 minus 1 is a 1, so it's a HH, which means the largest attacking stack is depleted, and the defending stack is depleted and retreated. Okay, so this stack here is depleted, meaning they're at half strength, and then this guy is depleted and retreated. And doesn't say anything whether you can move in, an attacker can move in. I'm going to assume they can, so anytime there's a retreat, I'm going to say there's an advance after retreat. So, okay, that's the end of the first move. We'll go with the second move, and the Allies get it again. I think this time I'm going to go against this German unit here and try to push them back. I've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to 4, so 3 to 1 odds. The other thing I got to do is spend my supply points. I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 because I have 3 stacks. So 1, 2, 3 stacks. 3 to 1 odds. They're in a Bocage, which is going to be a -1, but they're also out of supplies. So that's a +1, so it nullifies. So we can just roll a normal roll at 3 to 1, and we get a 6. Ooh, that's a defender eliminated. So we can send him to the elimination. I think this guy's going to move inwards. And you can move into a zone of control if you're doing an advance. So, okay, go to the next turn, or next round, I guess. 4 and 1, Germans finally get to go. I think I'll move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'll move this Panzer right there. Try to build up for a Panzer attack. Hopefully I'll get some good rolls here. The Germans usually either are able to push the Allies out at the beach pretty early on and win the game, or the Allies break out and they're pretty much just going to fight their way backwards and eventually lose. So, okay, 6 to 2, good. Okay, we need to move to Cannes, and we're going to move across the river. And here, and here, and we will. I'm going to make that attack. I can do that for 2 points. So there we go. Using supply pretty quick, and so the Germans are going to have 14 to 4, 3 to 1, -1. And they get a 3. So 3 to 1 with a 3 is an HH. Well, flip him. Now, he has to retreat. He can retreat through here. 1, 2. That actually works. The Panzers have to flip, and they will move into Cannes here. And then they can move a second time. So I'm going to move right on in. I think, again, you can advance without paying attention to zones of control, so we're going to move right there. Now, that puts us out of supply, but if I can hold that, it's going to reduce the Allies' beachhead there, so I think I can do that. Okay, next turn. Whoops, let's roll it again. 1 and 2. Okay, that's not so good. We're going to attack here with 2 stacks. And it's going to be 3. Now I'm on the same side of the river here, so it doesn't. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 7. So 1-to-1 odds. And we're going to add 1 because we are in supply and the Germans are not. So 1-to-1 with a 4. Defender retreats. Now this is a problem because defender can't retreat anywhere. So we bottled our panzers in. And we took a risk and didn't make it. So that's going to be an elimination. Okay. 3-to-1. Germans get to go again. We'll move here. Okay, roll again. 3-to-1. Germans get to move here. And we will move around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can he do that? 1. Now he has to stop because he's in a zone of control. They'll do that. Okay. We go with a 3-to-4. So the allies get to go. I think I'll move this guy back. And we roll again. Oh, and we get our tie. So that's going to be the end of the first turn. So the next step on this, if you look at your player aid, the turn sequence, the German player performs their final strategic moves. And I have 4 strategic moves I can make, which I will make. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's as far as I can go. Okay, that's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that puts you at 0. Okay, that's all. I think that's all the German strategic moves. Let's check the next on the chart. We go through the reinforcement step. And first we have the German places their reinforcement divisions. Well, there's none right here, so they can't do anything. Now the Allies have to place theirs. And we want to put in those armored as much as we can. So we have space for 3 here. 1, 2, 3, and 3 here. 2. Where's our third one there? Third one there. And we've got some excess, so those go over to the box over here, the delayed reinforcement box. So we'll put them in there. Okay, everybody's there. Okay, go to the chart, and the German player purchases reinforcement divisions, and they have 2, so they can move. Let's see if there's a replacement division chart. Eliminated infantry, half strength infantry. So eliminated infantry to eliminated armor to half strength. We're going to put this guy here just to indicate that he is at half strength. And I'm going to keep him off the board until the next turn. So we'll just move this to 8-2. And then we don't have any, I don't think I have any allied units that are eliminated, so we're good there. Okay, I think that's it for the replacement phase. Purchase replacement. Both players add new supply points. We've done that. And advance the turn marker to the next turn space. Okay. Okay, supplies for the Americans. Now we were at 5, and we have 12 because we have these 1, 2, 3. 4 times 3 is 12. So 12 and 5 is 17, so we can move that there. And we move our turn marker here, and that is the end of turn 1. Okay, going on to turn 2. So we start with the Allies. Forget the poor Canadians and British. I got to keep them in mind here. First thing going to be to do is move here to can again. And like I say, I need to try to get these ports open as much as possible. So we'll do that. And move here. We've got plenty of points. And then we're going to roll. And the Germans get to go this time. Going to try to build up a Panzer force. Okay, roll again. Germans get to go, so we'll put this Panzer here. And Germans get to go again. Well, that worked out perfect. Think that I need to use these Volksgrenadier. I really need to get these guys out. Although the Panzer's pushing him out sounds pretty good. We're going to do what we did before. This time we won't advance. So 18 to 14. 1-to-1 odds. -1. Well, not the best odds. Oh, wait, we can attack here too. So so it's still 1-to-1. Okay. Let's hold light. Let's move this stack, these two here. Okay, and then we move, and now we can move into here. And we have 4, 8, 12, 18, 30. And that's 14. So yeah, it's 2-to-1 odds now. So this is going to be 2, 3 supply points. 1, 2, 3, because I'm doing one of those breakthrough attacks here, and I think I can support a breakthrough attack with infantry. It would make sense. So I'm doing a breakthrough attack for 2, and then this third supply point here to attack. So 2-to-1 odds. It's in Bocage, so it's -1, and we get a 4. So 2-to-1 with a 4 is a defender retreat. So move him back, and I'm going to move him in here. I really need to try to keep those Panzer divisions together. So, okay. I think everybody's good. 5-to-1. Germans get to go again. Okay. 12-to-6. Yeah, definitely 2-to-1 odds. It's in the clear. We'll take that. So supply point there. And let's roll it. We get a 6. Okay, 2-to-1 with the 6 is a defender halved. Now these guys have already been halved, so they are eliminated. I kind of learned my lesson here about not moving in, but again, if I can keep units from coming in, that's not a bad thing. Let's see. 12. Yeah, that'd be like 3-to-1 odds, so we don't want to step in there. Okay, we roll again. And this time the Allies get to move. I think at this point I'll try to attack this guy here, so I have 2 stacks for 2 points. Allies got a lot of points, supply points. And so I've got 18 and 8 is 26-to-3, so 6-to-1. He's out of supply. And so we roll a 4, which is a defender eliminated. So we can eliminate him. And that's it. Okay, and then we roll again, and we get a 6 and 2. So this guy is going to move out, and he's going to move here, and he's going to make a breakthrough attack. 2 points, and that's going to be your 5-to-1 odds. A 6, and that comes out to be a 5 since he's in Bocage. So 5-to-1, 5 DE. Okay. So we've pretty much cleared everybody around Cherbourg. Cherbourg. There. Okay. Germans should have probably held it back there, and they could have kept this port. Now, this gives us support for supply, but it won't let us bring in any extra units. Oh, 5 and 2. I think I can try to attack these German units again. So we're going to go with a... Actually, I might come down here. And attack. And that's going to be 2, 3, 4 supply points. Now it's important that I just funnel supply points in just as much as I can to make as many attacks as I can. So 18, 23. Let's see, that's I think 37 to 12. 37 to 12. So 3 to 1 odds. This guy's out of supply because all the zones of control. So, but he's also Bocage, so that'll just nullify any die roll modifiers. So 3 to 1 odds. Let's roll. 3 to 1 with a 2 is going to be a defender retreat. And defender can't retreat. Well, yeah, they can. They can retreat through. They can retreat through zones of control, but they do lose half. So we flip that, and this guy will move into place here. That's the move. Okay, 5 and 3. Again, the Allies will go. We will continue to attack, and we're going to make an 18 and 32 to 18. So 2 to 1 odds. No, wait, 1 to 1 odds. Excuse me. Yeah, 1 to 1. We pull 2 here. And they get a 2. 1 to 1 with a 2 is an attacker half. Okay. So the largest attacking strength is halved. We go to the next little move, and 2 to 1. The Germans finally get to move. I think what I will do... move this guy here. And that's it for the German move. Okay. We roll again, and we get a 3 to 1. The Germans can't move. We roll again and get a 4 to 4. Okay, now it's tied, so that is the end of turn. Now, the Germans aren't going to be able to do any of their reserve movement because they don't have any movement points. I'll go ahead and set this one back while I'm thinking of it. Don't want to miss that. And then this guy, let's see, he's got 12 and 6 is 18. Okay, now then we're going to go through our replacements. Now this guy can flip, and we'll put the replacement back over here on the border. And then we'll move the replacement into place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I always remember this little place on the Somme there that I can... That's kind of my 15 from the border kind of thing. So, okay, that's it for the German replacement. American replacements. Americans have 4. Or the Allies, I guess, because we're fixing some British guys here. And so... That's 2, 4, and they can go into. We can move into delayed reinforcements. Okay, let's put our regular reinforcements in place now. We can put 3 in place. Okay. I think I filled up everybody there. And then the remainder, there's no more remainders, and the German SS Panzer, we can put him here because he's going to move from that border and make that one movement that he can make. So we are good on everybody here. Supply's good. And we can move the turn marker to the next turn. So moving into turn 3, let's see, it's now the first week of July, or first half of July, I guess. First fortnight of July. The Allies get to go, and I think I can hit that. I probably ought to try to hit that German Panzer. 369, 6. Yeah, I think I can try. I need to probably, let's do a little maneuvering, I think. So, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start out spending points moving these guys to the, up to paratroop. And that's going to be 2 points. And I think I can do that as the pre-movement phase from what I'm gathering from the rules. Now then I can make my first movement. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do that. Okay, so I'm just going to make a movement. We roll. We get to go again, which is perfect. And I think at this time I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to roll again. And that was a move. I don't want to forget that move. Okay. We roll again. Okay, and this time the Germans get to move. I think I'm in the Bocage, so that helps. I need to shore up this guy. It's going to be kind of hard too. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to move here and try to move these guys back. Reason being is even if I can get these guys to move back, they don't have any place to go. So this is going to be one of those breakthrough actions. So I'll move it 2 points there. And with the breakthrough, I've got 6 to 5. So 1-to-1 odds. Hopefully I'll roll good. Oh, 1. I didn't. Okay, so 1-to-1 with a 1 as an attacker eliminated. So didn't work out too well. Okay, roll again. German's going to move again. Think time I'll move here, here, and here for a point. Okay. Okay, now the Allies get to go. We'll move down here. Okay. That was an Allied. And then we go again. Oh, it's okay. That was it for the turn. So we can now move the German replacements, and they have 5 moves worth of replacements. Don't know. I think I'll move here. And let's see. Actually, let's move here. I want to move into the where these guys are in range. Okay, 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's 1. 1. 2. Let's see, 1. Oh, he can't move there. He has to move down here. 3. 4. Okay. I think I've got those guys moved. I'm going to try to move everybody off the peninsula here. And out of Normandy, and then start to work my way backwards. Okay. And that's it for the German replacement, or the German, reserve phase. Okay, now we can go to the replacement phase. We'll flip one of these guys. And this guy can come over here and flip for the Allied replacement. And then we do reinforcements. Okay, these guys. Let's start with German reinforcements. And these guys will start here. They'll make a 15. I think they'll end up down here. And then for the Allied reinforcements, I didn't get a chance to move off the beach very much, so that's not so good. 1, 2. I think that's it. And then Allied supply, we have 12, and 13 is going to be 25. So we can move here and increase this to the 20. And then over here, got the German set. And I think we can move into the second fortnight of July. Okay. So Allied players get to go first, and we are going to try to take out that Panzer right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 supply points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's going to be 16, and 9 is 25, and 39, and 7 is going to be 46 to 18. So 2 to 1 odds, -1. So we roll. And we get a 4. 2 to 1 with a 4 is a defender retreat. Well, these guys can't retreat anywhere. Actually, they can. They can go down here, but they do have to flip them because they had to move through an enemy zone of control. So, and we'll let the British move into place here. Okay, that marks the first move. Second move, right off the bat, we get a tie, so nobody got to do anything. So the Germans are left to make some strategic movements. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to, again, try to fall back to the Seine, I think, at this point. So we'll move strategically here. 1, 2. We'll just move to Paris with these guys. One, two, three, 4 more. And there's 1 more. And I still have 1 left. I think I'll pull back to Rouen. Actually, really need to start stacking some guys. Let's go here. We'll move that Panzer there. And I think that's it. And now we can bring in replacements. So this is our German replacement here. And again, I can move him down to that loop. And then are there any? Nope, there's no American or Allied replacements. Okay, now reinforcements. Okay, move here. And these guys can go 9. So we'll move them from Germany. Okay, and then Allies, bringing in this Polish unit. Oh, nobody moved out, so no replacements. We'll move these into the delayed reinforcements. Okay. And that ends the turn. So we go to the August turn, and at this point I think I'm going to use my paratroops. So I'm going to set these guys, I think 3 ahead. It was 3 turns ahead. Because I can use those to cut off German units from behind the lines. Okay, now I spent 1 to get them there, and then I have to spend 1 to deploy them, so 1 supply point. Okay, now supply points, speaking of which, 12. So this is at 27, or 25, and 12 is 37. And the Germans are going to be here at 8. And I've moved to the next turn. Everybody's good. So the Allies can move. Oh, the other thing, I guess I had 2 allies that I could repair, and I didn't have any eliminated. I can repair those on the board, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go... let's check my chart here. Replacement. To take a half-strength armor to full strength is 2 points, so we want to flip this guy and flip this guy. There we go. Okay. I think the first thing I need to do... Oh, there's 1 German unit left there. I forgot about him. Well, we're going to move those guys. We'll move them there. And that's a point. Because what we can do is, if we can goad the Germans into fighting us, we can have them burn supply points. So, which is exactly what we'll do here. We roll. And it's over again. Oh my gosh, two turns like that. That happens quite a bit. You end up with turns being really short sometimes. So, this German unit can't move. Gives the Germans a little more time to stabilize their line. So let's just go 1, 2, 3. That's 3 supply points. 1, 2, 3. And I'm just making these strategic movements, assuming they're all in the direction. Okay, this guy. I need somebody. Let's see. I got panzers here. I got panzers here. I got panzers down here. We'll just go. Let's move them into place there. That was another one. And let's just move 3 here to Rouen. 1, 2, 3. Still got 1 point left somewhere. Can't move into there. That's too close. We'll just go here. Okay. Now, replacements. 2 points. I can move. I'm going to go ahead and flip this guy for my German units replacements. For Allied replacements, we will flip these guys. 1. And then how much is that? Let's see, 1 point for for half-strength infantry. So they're going to go flip, and oh, he can't flip. He's in the zone of control of the German. Oh, and he can't either. Actually, none of those guys could have. So we'll flip them back. They can't do anything. Okay. That's the Allied replacement. Now let's go with reinforcements. Nobody moved out, so we've still got reinforcements stacking up over in England. And the Germans get to go here. They get to go 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I forgot about this guy here. Okay. So that's our reinforcements. Paratroops we've done. Supply. We got to remember supply. So we're now at 16. That would be 16 and, or I'm sorry, 36 and 12 is 48. So we can increase to 48, and the Germans are going to be at 8. We move the turn marker, and we're good to go. I think I will take a turn to try to get these ports opened up. Oh, and this is turn 7 is next turn, so that's when we can use southern France to bring units in too. Don't think I'm going to have to too much, but okay. Now I could move around here, but I think I'm going to get struck by panzers. I think the first thing I'll do is just try to eliminate this German unit, get him out of the way. So I've got 5 and 4, 8, 24, and 9 is 33, and 5 is 38. I think I got this one right. But anyway, it's going to be 6-1 odds. They're in Bocage, but they're also out of supply, so we'll just roll it. That should eliminate them. 2, okay, so yeah, with the 2, it's a defender half. They already have, so they're eliminated. We'll move in, and I forgot to count my 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's my supply for that battle. Okay, we go to rolling, and the Germans get to go. I think I'll do this. I think I'm going to go here and make a quick breakthrough attack. 16-5 at 3-1, -1. Let me 3-1, -1. So I got a 4. That defender half strength, and that's going to basically flip this guy and eliminate this guy. And he has to go back 1, or he can go 1, 2. I'll stack him here. I will not advance. Okay. Roll again, 4 and 6. Okay. Nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to move here for 1. Okay, and then a 2 and 4, and we will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We roll again, and we get a 3 and 1. Okay, I think we will move back. Okay, allies get to go. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, gonna do a strategic strategic move down here. That's easily 18, so we'll do that. Okay. We roll again, and we get, oh, the allies are able to bring it together. I think at this point I'm going to move here. Decrease that, and we roll again, and this time the Germans get to go. Go. Roll again, the allies get to go. And we will do the 12 to 3, 4 to 1 odds. With a 6. Okay, 4 to 1 to 6 is a defender eliminated. So this guy we attack, and there. Okay, roll again, and the allies get to go again here, and we will move in place here. And oh, we don't attack. We can't attack because. Okay, we roll again, and the Germans get to go. And I think we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll make a breakthrough attack, and I'll bring this guy in. So that's going to be our 4 points. And there's 12 and 16. So 28 to 14. 2 to 1 odds. With a 6 is a defender eliminated. Okay, so we knocked out that army divisions there. And I think we will go here. Now here's where we can move to our advantage here. So we're going to do that. Oh, they're not armored, so they can only move 1. Okay, that's still fine. Okay. And 6 and 3. Okay, that works out. Oh, we don't have any supply. Darn it. I was going to attack this guy because he's out of supply now, but I don't have any supply to make the attack. Okay, nothing to do there. Germans can't do anything, so we roll again. Okay, this time the allies can go. And we will attack from Argentine, right there. And we'll do a breakthrough. And the breakthrough is going to be 18 to 16. So 1 to 1 odds. Well, I shouldn't have probably attacked at 1 to 1, but we will, and we get a 1. A 1 to 1 1 is an attacker eliminated. So the lesson in this game is don't attack at 1 to 1 odds. You really need 2 to 1, 3 to 1, and so there's some maneuvering you've got to do. Okay, we roll again. 6 to 1. Germans can't do anything. We roll again. Germans can't do anything. Roll again. Okay, there's our tie. So that ends the turn. Okay. Okay, now we can start to go through and do some replacements. And I'm going to flip one guy here for German replacements. And Allied replacements will flip and flip. Okay. Now we can bring in Allied units, and we will do that here. And let's bring in these armored corps here. 1, 2, and I think I got 3 here. 3. There we go. No Germans are coming in. Okay, checking that, checking that. Oh, I get an extra point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get 1 extra point here. So we will bring this guy back. I keep forgetting that you get extra points for having a lot of eliminated units. It's an easy rule to break. So we can move this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that's reinforcements, replacements. Everybody's back. German line looks so-so. And I think we can go, let's move our supplies. So 12 and 36 is 48. There's 48, and then the Germans are going to be back at 8 again. And now we can move into turn 7. Now at this turn, we can start bringing units in from the south if we want to. We probably will bring a few, but I don't have a lot of need for that right now. So, okay. Allies can go, and I think what we'll do... Can't really do much there. I think I can bring this guy here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Are they out of supply? Can't go through there, can't go through there, can't go through there. They can go 1, 2. Okay, they are in supply. We roll. The Allies get to go, so we will cut supply off here. Okay, roll again. Okay, Germans get to go. Can't move into zone of control. Okay, they're cut off. So we will go around here and make an attack. We'll make a breakthrough attack. And so that's 2, 3. And 16, 24, 30 to 12. 2 to 1 odds. They're out of supply, so 2 to 1 plus 1. And we get a 3. 2 to 1 with a 3 is a defender retreat. Now, they're going to retreat 2, but they have to retreat through a zone of control, so that's going to flip them. And I think I'll leave that there. I don't think I'll advance. Okay, that's it. Okay, we roll again. And that's it for the turn. That's it for the turn. Okay, now then, Germans. I'll move back here. There's 2 points. Can't go anywhere there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, can't. Okay. Doink, doink. That was 4. We want to move this guy forward, and we'll just move him up to here. I think that's 15. Okay, and that would get me to 0 supply points. I'm doing those in my head while I'm trying to do it. Okay. Allies. Let's do replacements. Now I've got 2 points to replace, but I've got 3 because I have more than 5. So we're going to go 1, 2. Oh wait, I've got 3. So there's 1, 2, and let's see, go back here. It's always kind of hard to remember. Okay, it costs 2 points to take it eliminated to full strength. So that's 2. And then 1 point will take one of these to half strength. So we'll just move him out. And then here, we need a couple boxes for that. Okay, and then I go 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Cambrai. Okay, now then, bringing these guys back. So they've got, let's figure out points first. There's more than 5, so that's 6. They have 5 points. They got 4 plus 1, so 5 points. To bring an eliminated armor to full strength is 4. And to bring one of these to half strength is 5. So we'll flip this guy. Move him to the delayed. This guy's special here. Okay, and that's the replacements. I could have done a field replacement here too, but that's okay. Okay, now bringing in units up. No units there, no space. Okay. We'll bring this guy to the eliminated. And hopefully this is making some sense to you guys. I hope so. Yeah, I don't know. The rules are pretty basic. I think that's, again, the problem with rules in games is if you end up with basic rules, you often end up with a lot of holes. So that's the downside. So. I know my games get probably a little more freewheeling than they should. But I mean, I guess when we get these on the table, it's kind of 1, 2, 3. A lot of times you just have to keep playing, and I try to play these 5 times before I do a playthrough, but I still miss a lot. So apologies to those of you if you do see stuff that's that's not kosher, then let me know down below. I do like to go back and read those. I'm not going to go back and make a new video, obviously, but it is kind of nice. And sometimes then I'll go back and try to replay the game if I have time with your suggestions. And if you also with strategy suggestions too. But when you're actually making the video, I like to just basically barge on through. Quite a bit of time goes into putting these together, and honestly, by the time I'm getting my final play, I just really want to see how it goes playing it through and make it fairly natural. Okay, enough yapping. Let's see. Now we got supply points. This is going to be 40, and 12 is 56, and the Germans have 8. Okay, that's everybody, and I think I can move to the next turn. So that's what we will do. Okay, we're in game turn 8. Now, I think what we're going to do is, plan is to move the Allies forward. I don't think I'm quite ready for a bulge step yet. I'd rather wait till the Allies are really hitting the seine here, so I think we'll wait on the bulge. We do have some paratroop units we can use this turn, so those come in on a movement phase. I think I'll go ahead and start with I think I'm going to try to eliminate these guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and here as a breakthrough action. So that's 2 points, and then a third point for an attack here. This German guy's out of supply. He's got 12. So we've got, I think we're going to have 2-to-1 odds here. And so let's roll it. 2-to-1 with a 5, so it should be a 2-to-1 with a 6, and that's a defender eliminated. So this guy is sent to elimination, and we don't really want to advance, and we can move to the Germans. Now the Germans are, I think what we're going to have to do is use our turns wisely to well, I don't know if I used that, okay. Continue to build our front here. Go ahead and move this strategically. 1, 2, 3. He can't move strategically there. We'll move there. Okay, and we roll, and the Allies get to move again. This time I'm going to move 5. We roll, and the Germans can move. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to move around here and make another attack. That'll cost 3 supply points. And we have 20, 32, 12. So 2-to-1 odds plus 1. And we get a 2. 2-to-1 with a 2 is an attacker halved. Okay. This guy's, I guess, the half. And we roll again. This time the Allies get to move. And again, we'll do one of those. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to 3 points. We're going to do a breakout action and then attack here. $15 and 12 is 27 to 10. So 2-to-1 odds plus 1 with the 2. 2-to-1, 2 is attacker halved. Okay. Let's see, this is 12 and this is, so we can have him. We can have him, and I think this guy's eliminated, so we'll send him to the eliminated. Okay. And we roll again, and the Allies get to go. Move him there strategically. Okay, we roll. Allies get to go. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll down here and do another breakthrough attack. And this time I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 points. And the breakthrough attack this time is going to be at 12. 18 and 18 is 36 to... So 3-to-1 odds. Plus 1, 7. Okay, that eliminates these German panzers. And he can move through, which he will advance. Okay. We go to a 6 and 4. Oh my gosh, the Allies are hitting hard. I think we'll move this guy forward. And attack. Oh, he can't attack, so we'll move. Okay. Roll again. Okay, Germans can move this time again. And at this point, again, I really would like to keep trying to support my lines here. There's a strategic. Okay, and that's going to be the end of turn. So German strategic. I can make 3 strategic moves. I need to get these guys moved into place. 1. 2. 3, 4. Okay, there's my strategic. Now I can move, try to do German replacements, and the Germans have four points that they can spend. So I'm going to spend those 4 points bringing back this guy here. We'll move him in place there. And the Allies have, this guy's 1. And they have 5 points. So that was 1. And then 4 points to move this guy here. Okay. That's the replacements. Now the reinforcements. Oh, Cherbourg. I didn't realize I could use that. So Cherbourg is actually, I get 10 points, and I can bring in more guys. I missed that. 1. Try to keep my armor together. 2. Yeah, things will be a lot easier for the Allies at this point. And bring in these infantry units. Okay, there's the infantry. These guys can go. We'll put the British right here. Now, I don't know if you pay a point to put him here. I'll say you do. I'm going to go ahead and say that that's a point, so we'll just move that there. And the Germans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll move him here a little bit south. Okay, I think I've got the reinforcements put in. What did I do with my paratroopers? I lost those guys. Did I move those? I moved those guys in. Oh, no, I know where. They're over here. They're right here. Okay. Move them forward. I guess I'll leave them there. That's fine. We can put them in later. Okay. Moving paratroops. Or moving supply 8, and this is 12 or 10, so 52. And that gives me to turn 9. Okay. At this point, I think we will go ahead and try to apply the bulge. So the Germans get 10 more. and they have they get to go first. So I think I'll move this Panzer across, do a breakthrough, and we'll do the 3-pointer. And so I have 34 to 12. So 2-to-1 odds. And we roll a 5 at 2-to-1 as a defender at half. So we can flip these guys, move them back 2. Don't think I'll move into that place right there. Okay. Now we can roll, see who goes first, and the allies get to go. We'll move 1. There. Okay. We roll and the allies get to go again. And at this point, I will do the 1, 3, 4, 5. I'll make that a breakthrough. And I will attack. So that's 2, 3, 4 points. 4 points. And then we will attack the Panzers. So 44 to 24. So it's still 1-to-1 odds there. We get a +1 though. So we get a 2. 1-to-1 with the 2 is an attacker is halved, and that's the largest stack. So it's these guys. Okay, we roll again, and the allies get to go again. I think I still have pretty decent odds here. 6, 12. 16, 25, still have 1-to-1 odds, +1. Let's try it again. So 3 more. And we roll a 4. 1-to-1 with a 4 is defender retreat. Okay, these guys can't retreat. Well, they can retreat. So we have them. Flip. 1, 2. Okay. And yeah, I'll move in. Okay, roll again. And it's a 1-to-1. Now, because it's the bulge, the Germans can re-roll this, and the Allies get the advantage. I'm going to move up here and make another breakthrough attack. And in this breakthrough attack, I'm going to go with 6, 12, 15 to 6. So 2-to-1 odds -1 because I'm fighting across a river. So I get a 5. 2-to-1 with 5. Defender half. So that eliminates these guys. I won't cross the river. And we roll again. I think I may have just rolled for the Allies. Oh, well, we're good. Okay, Allies get to go again. Oh, we need to move these guys out. 1, 2... tell you what, I'm just going to go a strategic 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and we will put him here for a point. Okay. We roll again, and the Germans get to go. I'll move across here and make another 3-point attack. 1, 2, 3. Breakthrough attack. $25 to 9, so 2-to-1 odds +1. Okay, and we get a 6. 2-to-1 +1 is a defender halved, and these guys are eliminated. Okay, we roll for the next one. Okay, and that would end the turn. So the bulge is over. I guess we did okay. We knocked out some armored divisions, which was kind of nice, and moved forward just a little bit. If anything, right now we're trying to slow the Allies down. Okay, so now we can start to figure out strategic movements. I can move out here, and I can move back here. And I'll move this guy down here. That was 3. Don't want to... I think I'm trying to move these guys here. 1. Wait, no. We'll go 1, 2, 3. And let's see here. Do I want to... Oh, these guys, okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3. And I'll save the other one, so that'll put us at 9 for the next turn. Oh, I forgot. Oh, that guy's a Volks Grenadier. Okay, replacements. So I get 2, 3, 4 points. I'll bring back Panzer with my 4 and flip him. And we will move him up to my favorite spot here. Oh, well, okay. He moves there. Replacements for the Allies. They've got 4, so we'll move him into there. And reinforcements. Volks Grenadier. Allied reinforcements. There's 1 at Cherbourg. And nope. I lost my guys. Here you are. Oh, there you are. There. Okay. I'll leave him back. I'm not really needing him right now, so... Okay, there's my reinforcements, replacements. I think I've got everybody. I add there's my German supply. And my Allied supply is going to be 3, and 10 is 53. I've got lots of Allied supply. Okay, and then we move into game... Oh, these guys can move over here. And we move to game turn 10. Allies get to go first. And I think I will push on Paris as hard as I can this turn. Let's move these guys first. And we'll move here. And that's a supply point. We roll. Right off the bat. So pretty much a wasted month. It rained that month, I guess. Okay. This gives the Germans a chance to do a little bit of reinforcement. think we'll move. We'll move to Paris. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can't quite do it. We can do. I tell you what, we can do this 1 and this 2. Then 3, 4, 5. And I think that's good. So I'll set my, and then replacements. So we've got 3 points. I'll spend 2 points to flip him. And I will spend 1 point to bring him back on the map. Okay, and that's it for the Germans. Now, the Allies. We'll go 1. And okay, now replacements. We got 5 points, so we'll move him for 4. And we'll move him. Oh, we can flip some guys on the thing. So we will flip. We'll flip this bird. Oh, okay. Let's see who's up the front. We'll flip him. There we go. Okay, there we. I think we've spent all of our reinforcements. We've done our replacements. This Panzer's on base or on. He's waiting, and I think that's everybody. We've got some. Oh, this guy is back here. Okay. I think everybody looks good. So we move to the turn 11. This guy will be at 60, and then he's at 12. Okay, Allies get to go first. Again, I think it's going to be crucial to pull these guys out. So we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5. We roll. Okay. Germans get to go. Okay, we go to next one. Germans get to go. Okay, now Allies get to go. And we'll just strategic move down to here. Okay, Allies get to go, and we will just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And strategic move. Germans get to go. We'll reinforce here. Allies get to go. And we will roll down here. Okay, and that's a tie. So we are done. Not much combat this turn. We were basically just redeploying and moving. Okay. Germans. I want to move this guy back here for 1. I'll move this guy There's 2, 3, 4, 5. And we move this guy to 5 here, and then we do our this guy. Let's see, we got 3 points. So there's 2 points for this guy and a point to bring this guy here to half. So we will bring him back, and for a replacement here, we will do reinforcements. There's a German reinforcement, so we'll put him over here too. And then Allied reinforcements. Let's just move. I wish this box was a little closer. 1, 2. We'll just keep them together here. I don't think the Allies are going to lose this one. I think they're going to 2. Okay, there's the Allied reinforcements, replacements, reinforcements, supply. Okay, so 8 and 5 is 13. This goes back up to 60. And I think we're ready to move into turn 12. So the Allies will go, and I think we're going to push here. I think we'll just use a point. I don't think we're going to attack. Okay. And there we go. We're back to another tie. So Germans can make their move. We got to make strategic movement. I think he'll stay put. Everybody else will move. One, 2, 3. I think that's it for German strategic movement. Okay, and then or relief movement. Okay, then we go to replacements. German replacement was this guy, and he goes back for 1. I'll just put him here, and then the other ones, I had 3 more. Two, and we'll flip this guy 3. There, I think that gives me enough points. Okay, and then for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. Okay. Okay, reinforcements. Allies get reinforcements. They never got to move anybody, so this goes back into the delayed reinforcements, replacements. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have 5, and then okay, he's there. Okay, that's it for moves. Supply here, and the Germans get supply 18. We really need a turn where something happens. Move this guy in. He has 9 movement points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I think that's going to be the end of turn. Everybody else has moved. Everybody's supplied. so we can go to the 13th. Hopefully we'll get through quickly here. So the Allies really, again, we need to make a breakthrough without getting these double numbers. Also need to bring these guys into place. Okay, Allies will go first, so they always have a chance. What I'm going to do, since they do have a chance, is I'm going to make a breakthrough attack, and with this support, so that's going to be 3 points, and it's going to be at -1, so 36 to 12, so 3-to-1 odds -1, and we roll a 5. So that's a defender eliminated. That's going to hurt. And we can move 1, 2. Okay. Allies get to move again. Can't go through much here, but I think we'll try to move here. Okay, roll again, and this time the Germans get to move. We'll just try to block them off there. That was a German move. And we move again, and the Germans get to go again. So this time they'll attack, and 12 and 9 is 21 to 18, 1-to-1 with a +1. And they get a 2. Attacker eliminated. All attacking. Okay, that's going to be, I think that's going to be it for the Germans. That produces a gap that's going to be hard to, yeah, we'll see. Okay, and the U.S. forces will move again. This time I'll go up here and I will make another breakthrough attack. And I'm going to breakthrough attack at 18, and 12 is 30 to 10. So 3-to-1 odds with a +1, and I get a 3. 3-to-1 with a 3 is a defender retreat. Since they can't retreat, they will flip. We go to the next one. Okay, Germans get to move this time. I could either attack here. Oh, no, that's I could attack here. Or I could try to fill that gap. Let's go here. Fill the gap. Okay, the Allies will go again, and I will again make the attack at 2. 32 to 4, so that's going to be your 6-to-1 odds, 5-to-1 odds. I wish they used 6-to-1 on this, but that's okay. And we get a 6, so that eliminates that unit. And we need to take off those 2 points there. Okay. So looking it over, we've broken through. And now we've got the next German line to hit. We roll, and the Germans get to move again. Okay, this guy looks... I think what we were going to do is we're going to work on pulling back the line a little bit. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and move back again here. Okay, then the Allies are going to go here. And I think I will make that just a move. So allies will just move there. We go again, and that's the end of turn. Okay, so now it's up to some strategic movement. Pull back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. Okay, we can do that. 9. That's 3. That's 4. We'll move here. 5. 6. Let's go to 8. There's none. Okay, 7, and I think that's enough. I think that's going to be enough strategic. Oh, well, this guy. There. We'll move him back across the river. Okay, that should be this guy in Le Havre is just stuck, so he'll get eliminated next turn. Okay, I think I had one more I needed to take off. And then we move to German replacements. So these guys can replace, that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we had an extra 3, so 5. So there's 3, and then I have 2 more. And I'll use that to flip him, so he can come in. He's waiting. And then these guys can come in. Don't think... We'll move him down in here, and this guy will move... There we go. He can move in that stack there. Okay, that's replacements. And now we go with reinforcements. Nobody. I guess that's okay. I guess we're doing fine. I just... getting everybody moved into place is the hard part here. Okay, so Rouen. I need to get Le Havre eliminated before I can use Rouen, so... Okay. Move forward and do our supply thing, so... No big deal here with him because they're getting plenty. And then 6 and 6 is 12, 13, 14. Okay, the Germans move. And we really need to push the Allies to get into Germany pretty quickly. So they're going to have to move fast. I could try to move around. That's a possibility. Let's try that. I think we'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There we go. Okay. We roll, and the Allies get to move again, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, I'm getting supply from the south, so that's good. And that was another Move. Okay, we roll again, and the Allies... Oh, the Allies get to go again. Let's try to move here. Go again, and Allies get to move again. Let's try to eliminate Le Havre. So 6, 12 to 6, 3 to 1 odds. With a 1. Attacker halved, okay. Don't forget the supply. Okay, we do it again, and that's the end of turn. So, strategic moves. I'll move here. 1, 2, 3, and that's, I think, all the strategic moves I want to make. Okay, now the Germans bring back units. Okay, this guy for, let's figure how much I got first. We got 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so moving him, this has cost us 2 units to move him back. I got 3 more units. So that's 2, 3, 4, and then I'll just move this guy back to half strength there. And that should be my 5. Okay, and then this guy can move into place down here. Okay, and then reinforcements. Still nothing. Okay. I'll bring this replacement. Oh, replacements. Okay, this is... We've got 4, 5. Okay, there's 4. And 5. Okay, so now these two... Let's bring one of these guys back. Okay, and there. Okay. And then these guys are here and here. And we can move to the next turn. These guys are here, and 8 and 11 is 19. Yeah, those double rolls are really, really killing it. Okay, this is turn 15. Still got some bit of a challenge. We need to break through the Germans and really push them back. So I think as the Allies, I've also got to get these guys moved. I'm going to start with this Allied group here, and we're going to do a strategic move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I guess that's about as far as we're able to go. Okay. Now we roll. Germans get to move. I think we're going to try to block these French units down here. I can... 1, 2, 3. Okay. We roll. 5 and 4. Then 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can't quite make it. We'll do that then. 5. Okay, he's in supply, and we're going to make that move. It's going to be us breakthrough. So 3-point breakthrough. 3. And we're going to have the ratio, odds ratio is 9 and 14. So 23 to 12. 1-to-1 odds with a 5. So defender half. Okay. Flip him. Okay, roll again. And this time we're going to do an attack again for 2 points. And we now have 23 to 6. So, wait, 3-to-1? Let me double check here. 14 and 9, 23 to 6, yeah. Okay, so 3-to-1 odds. And we roll a 5. And defender eliminated. So we can send to eliminated. We roll again, and oh, the Germans get to move again. So, I could go against these guys. I could try to hit. How offensive do I want to take it? Well, okay. We'll just go right there. And that's a point. Trying to come up with good conversation while I'm doing this is always a challenge. It's going to be fun when I do one of these games that takes like 40 hours, and I'm not going to be able to talk for 40 hours straight. So everybody's on their own kind of with that. Okay, next turn. 18. Let's see. I'm out of supply, I think. Well, maybe not. We'll go here and attack at 2-to-1. Actually, 2-to-1 minus 1. So yeah, we'll do that as a breakthrough attack. And we get a 3, 2-to-1 with a 3 as a defender retreats. Okay, so he gets to go back 1. And we will take that right there. Okay, Germans get to go. Yeah, the French fell into our trap, so we will do the 3 more points. 1, 2, 3, and bad move on the part of the French, but that's okay. 23, 18, 1-to-1, out of supply, so +1, so is a 6. 1-to-1 with a 6 is a DH. Defender halved. Flip. And since they're surrounded, and they would be eliminated because they don't have anywhere to go. So move right there. 4-to-3. Germans get to go again. We're going to go back to Paris. 3-to-3, end of turn. Okay, so strategic movements. I have an idea for the Germans. Here. And 1, 2, 3 here. And I'd originally moved those guys back, but I'm feeling a little bit more brave. And then we do replacements and German replacements. Oh, and that was, I think, 3 units that I moved. 1, 2, 3, and German replacements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, one short. So we've got 2 plus 2 is 4 points. It's enough to bring back this guy. And we'll definitely want Panzer units. We'll put him here. And then that's the replacements, Allied replacements. I got 4 points. So there's 2, or we'll just do this flip. Okay, there we go. Oh, we got 5 points. There, he's at half strength. So that's 4, and then switching him over to 1 is 5. Okay. Replacements. 1, 2, 3, and we will move these guys. Reinforcements here. Still don't have Rouen, and still haven't done anything there. So, okay, Army gets a guy here, and Volksgrenadier unit is here, and let's put him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 8 points. So that's 13 points here, and move this guy back here. Yeah, we didn't get much. The Allies didn't have much to do that turn, so the Germans were able to retake them here. And maybe I can make a pincher movement on the Allies. Of course, the Allies could try to push through here, too. That's the other thing we can do. So, okay, we are on turn 19. We'll move this guy here. I keep forgetting about my paratroopers. So, let's start with our first move. And I think we're going to try to attack, pin down these panzers. Actually, first thing I want to do is attack here. I want to get Le Havre opened up. So we're going to do 1 point here, and we have 2, 4, 6 against 6, so 1 to 1. And we get a 3. 1 to 1 with a 3 is an attacker halved. Well, that didn't work so well. Okay, now we roll. And that's it for the... Oh, man, that's it for the turn. That sucks. Okay, at least it sucks for the Allies. Move him here. And count that as 1. I need to burn a few units. We will move this to Aachen. Move this guy to Trier. Actually, this guy will go here. So that was 2 that we had. Like I said, we need to burn a few. 1, 2. And I think what I can do as the Axis group, I can try to make a defensive row here. I don't think I'm going to need it because I don't think these guys are going to make it in time. Okay. We go back to the Volksgrenadier. Or no, we got to go to replacements. And this was worth, let's see, I have 2 replacements here. That's 2 points. So 2, 4. And this guy. This guy has 1, so we'll leave him. And we'll just move him here. I'll keep those in reserve. Okay, and then I've done replacements here. These replacements here, I don't think anybody can replace, or reinforce, I'm sorry. So And replacements, I'm going to fix this guy. So that's 1, 2, or no, that's 1. I've got 5 points. There's 1, 2. I've got 3 more. Three, 4. 5. Okay. And these are standing by. Okay, and I think that's, oh, Volk's Grenadier. And we will go 1, 2, right here. Actually, I want to go there. That's a little better place to... Yeah, that'll work. 1, 2, 1, 2, okay. I like that, okay. And that should be it for the turn, so we can move our turn marker and get our supplies back to here, and 18, there. Okay. Allies will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just go anywhere between 3. 1, 2, 3. There. Okay, that was our first move. We roll, and the Germans get to go. Now this could be interesting. So we're going to go here. And we won't attack. We're just going to move into position. Actually, no, we're not. There. That guys will go there. Okay. That was our roll for 1. We roll again, and the Allies get to go. Now, it's going to be hard to get in here, but I can... We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, we're going to move here. Okay, and we're going to do that 3-pointer. 2, 3. We have plenty of supply. And so I've got 36 to 12. So 3 to 1 odds with the 4. 3 to 1 with the 4 DH. Okay. Do I want to follow through? Yeah, I'll follow through there. Okay, we roll again. This time the Germans get to go. And... there. Yeah, because that'll cut him off from supply. So that's a 3-pointer. And we get a 14 and 6, 20. So 1 to 1 plus 1 with a 3. 1 to 1 plus 1 is a 3, is an attacker halved. Okay, flip. We roll again, and this time the Allies are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And this is going to be 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. And we'll figure up our, let's see, there's 18, 36, 54 to 7. So yeah, easily going to be max And we get a 6 and a 7, so that's easily going to eliminate those panzers. And I'll stay put. Okay, we roll again, and this time the Germans get to go. We'll move into position here, and we'll make another 3-point attack. And we get a 24. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Move out of the way. Okay. 5 and 1. Make another attack here. We forgot Le Havre. So we have 4, 8, 12 to 6, so 2 to 1 odds. And we get a +1, and we roll a 3. Defender retreats. Now that would make him flip. Forget the supply, and then we roll again. And we're going to do the same thing here. Spend a supply, and we have 12 to 2, 6 to 1 odds, +1, so 7, so that's going to be an easy elimination. And sent to eliminated, and now Le Havre is ours. Okay, 6 and 3, so let's move some guys out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's about as far as I can go. That was a supply. Okay, Germans get to go. Okay. Roll again. Germans get to go again this time. Move there. 6 and 3, Germans get to go. Roll again. Allies get to go. So we're going to push here, and we're going to make a attack of 32 to 12, or no, 36, 3 to 1 odds, +1, and we get a 4. Defender halved, and they can't. They're eliminated because they're not only they have, but they can't retreat. So there's that. And we roll again and get a. I didn't know if did I do that. Okay, 6 and 3. Let's see here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just we'll go here. Roll again, and we will go here. Okay, roll again, and at this point, I think I could try to drop those guys. We're going to go here and not attack. Okay, we roll again. Germans get to attack this time. 1, 2, 3. think I'll move here, and we will attack now. So or no, I can't attack. So roll again, and German. Now I can attack. So I'm going to go 16 and 9 is 25. So 1 to 1 minus 1. And we get 5. So defender halved. We lucked out. And we will stay on this side of the river. Okay. Did I count that? I think I can. I'll count it. Okay. 2 to 1. Germans get to go. And Germans get to go again. Now this time, and there's the end of turn. Okay. So this is in supply. They're still in supply. Things are looking good. I'm trying to surround them without getting surrounded myself. Let's see here. Okay, let's. Do I want to do any sort of movement? Okay, there's a little, they can actually stay in supply through Paris there, so. Oh, but he can't be there, so he's got to be 1, 2, 3 away. Okay. And that's a point. Strategic. Okay, we bring in our reinforcements. Oh, replacements. First of all, starts with the replacements, and okay, so we got 5 points. Bring this guy back from the dead and put him on, so that's 4. And I think I got 1 more point, which this guy I can move across. We'll flip him. Okay, and then these guys can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, there they are. We'll bring in German replacements, Volksgrenadier, and he can move 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then American and British and French guys. Put them here and here, and I could put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these guys, so 15 units can come in, so that should help a lot. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you know, I'm not a great board game player. I have to apologize in advance. I usually get just whooped when I play somebody else. That's okay. I really have more fun. I really like the 2 things I like. I like to get together and play with people, and I like the simulation aspects. And whether I win or lose doesn't make any sort of difference at all. I learn stuff, but like I say, I kind of suck at actually playing these games. I always have. I even like the thing is I've had a lot of beginners just completely trounce me, and I can play these games 100 times and I still don't grok the how to win them or the strategies. I think one thing is just a lack of patience. I like to keep the thing moving, and so I'll just keep moving units and without sitting there really thinking. It's probably the same reason I don't really like chess. I get kind of bored waiting around, and I'm just ready to move the units again. So, and it's another thing nice about these easy games is that usually the pace is pretty quick on them, which is something I enjoy. Okay, there we go, and bring back our supply. This will be at 10. And these guys will have, I think they have now 12, 13, and this Churbird, 14, 15. Okay. So again, easily I move. Yeah, I'm surprised with all these double counts. I forgot to move these guys. Let's see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 5. There's 1. So there's 4, and there's the other one. Okay. Flip. Okay. I can bring back 3 armored divisions next time. Okay, we are finally on turn 18. It's going to be important for us to try to push hard against the Germans. But I've got guys behind me now, too. I really need to avoid getting cut off. I think I'll move here. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and do a breakthrough attack. And I've got 18 to 9, I think. So 2 to 1 odds. And there's a supply, so we're good. 2 to 1 with a 6 is a DE, so these Volksgrenadier are gone. And that's nice, because that clears up a lot more supply options. I'm not getting surrounded now. Okay, we roll, and the Germans have the advantage now. This guy, well, let's see. Yeah. This guy will move into place. I don't think I'll attack. I think I'll just hang tight. And there, yeah, that's what I wanted. This guy will move and do a... he'll do a breakthrough attack. So 1, 2, 3. And we have 16 and 18. So 34 to 18. So, well, 1 to 1 odds plus 1. And I got a 7. So 1 to 1. So defender halved. But since he's trapped between us, he's eliminated. Because he has to move out, and that would have him. So, okay. Go to the next one. And Germans get to move again. Ooh. Okay, we're going to move this guy here. Okay. We roll again, and it's the end of turn. Okay. Yeah, the Allies didn't get much to do. I think the Allies are they're going to have a hard time with this. They really need to make it in a couple turns. So, okay, German units. We're going to go 1, 2, and we're going to move right down here. And this guy's going to move. He'll stay put. Okay, that's the only... I guess, I don't know what this guy's doing up here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, there's the German reserves. Now we got played the German replacements. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We're one short. So we've got an extra 3 points. So we're going to go... Let's see what's on the map first. He's in range... So there's 2 points here. Out of my 5, there's 2. So that gives us 3 points left. These 3 can flip. Flip, flip, flip. Okay. Then the American replacements. We've got 4 and 1. So I have 5 points. So I will go 4. And then we'll flip him to half strength. 5. Okay. American, now the Germans can bring in a guy. 9, and the Allies don't have any spots, so there's actually, oh, I forgot about this. So the Allies can bring in guys down here. I forgot totally about these guys. I don't remember how many they can bring in, but I guess you can bring them all in. And then this guy will move to the paratroop box. Not that these guys are going to do much. Yeah, I totally forgot about these guys in the south. That would have helped a lot, so... Okay. Oh, and then the Allies, I guess we can bring in Allies units. Now, the one thing, too, about this is... Haven't used those paratroops yet. Probably could have used those more to my advantage. But didn't really remember how to use them, so... Okay. Let's do that. Let's bring in... these guys from over here. Oh, move these guys forward 1. Oh, I guess I got... Okay, so I can go 1, 2, 3. I can bring in 3, 1. Oh, bring our supplies up. Okay. Now then, bring in these paratroopers, and we are going to knock them right here. Okay, now then... And I think you can drop those as a movement. So I'll drop those as my first movement. And it's over. It's already over. Okay. Don't think I really need to do a whole lot of... moving back. Move this guy into place. So there's 2 for my reserves. There's 3. Okay, there's my 3rd reserve movement. Okay, reinforcements or replacements, German replacements. We can fix some guys out on the battlefield here. 1, 2, 3. Can't fix him. Let's see. Everybody's fixed, so we'll bring these guys in off. Let's see. I've got 3 points, I think. So there's 1, 2. 3. Wait, oh, hold on a second. They give me 2 points automatically, so I can flip him for 2. There's 3, and I have 5. I forget I have 5. There's 4. Flip 5. Okay. And I'll bring these guys in. There's 12. Okay, and then our reinforcements, I guess. Here's our replacements and our reinforcements. And this guy can go here, and this guy can go, he can go back, he can come in with this guy here. So there we go. Okay, we are on turn 20, last turn of the game. Oh, I forgot about that Canadian guy. Oh well. Okay, pretty much, not much I have to do. There's a move. Oh. $17 for supply, back to $60 for supply. And I think, yeah, I think the, let's see, the allies get to go first, but there's not a lot to do. So I think we'll attack this this Volksgrenadier unit. And so for 2 points, we're going to have 18. Actually, nope, I'm going to do this. I'm going to move that guy against him, do a breakthrough, and for 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4. At least I can take some guys down. 18, 36. 45 to 9. So 5 to 1 odds. He's surrounded, so we roll a 6, and that's an elimination. So this guy's out of here. We'll send to eliminated. And we're going to roll, and 6 to 1. Okay, the Jerrys get to go. Move there. Roll again. Allies get to go. Really, all I can do as an allied player is push as hard as I can to try to get some guys across to Germany. I might be able to do it. Who knows? But we'll move here, and we will do an attack. And we get a 18 to 9, 2 to 1 odds. Get a 2, 2 to 1 with a 2. Attacker halved. Okay. Roll again, and the Germans get to go. Come here, and we'll move in here and do that 3 attack, and we have a 18 and 27. So 3 to 1, and they're surrounded. So 3 to 1 with a 3 is a HH. Okay, so these guys are eliminated. And the bigger stack has to be halved. So we'll flip that. Roll again, 2 to 1. Germans get to go. Like I said, the Germans could just stay put. They'd be okay. Let's go here and do a supply point. We roll a 6 and 3. Allies get to go. Allies will fight here. And they get a 18 to 9, I think. Yeah, 2-1 odds. With 5. 2-1 with 5. DH. So these guys are eliminated. Reroll again, and the allies get to go again. Push here and make an attack. And let's see. 2-1 odds, -1 because it's across a river. 0. 2-1 with the 0 is an attacker eliminated. Okay. Oops. And that's the end of the turn, actually. So basically, I could do some moving around, but I don't think it's going to make any difference because the Allies were never even able to get close to the German border. I didn't play them very well. So I guess this would be a German victory from what I'm gathering, that we didn't have units across. So Germans lost a lot of units, but they were able to keep it together and keep those replacements coming in. Anyway, game, I like a lot about this. I like that kind of random initiative system that it has. I think that's kind of fun. The replacement system could be a little bit better, I think, and the odds chart could be a little better. I don't think it handles multiple unit combat very well. I like the idea of the older games where you have to take into account all of the units that you're fighting, and you can't just pick out a unit. I still kind of like that system a little bit better, but all in all, I don't know. It's not a bad game. I'd continue to play it a few times this time of year, but anyway, that's kind of it. I appreciate you guys watching these. I really do. This is great that you guys do this. I always get a lot of good comments, or, like I say, if you see things that I'm not playing right, let me know. I sure appreciate that. Also appreciate any strategies that you guys have into these type of games that I'm doing. Like I say, I'm not a great game player, but anyway, I'll let you guys go, but I will see you next week. Thanks a lot, and goodbye.